Hey everybody,
Hi,
I'm Dove.
I'm Nicole.
We're so happy to see you guys. Happy New Year, Happy
Yes.
New Year, Happy New Year. We've missed you. I'm sorry that we haven't been with you guys for a little while now. We've been really busy. If you are new to us, we are a twin flame couple. We are motivational speakers. We are mentors. We are transformational healers. We work around sacred union and around creating a life of abundance that you want, right? So if you are not subscribed, go down to that little button and subscribe so you can stay connected, right? And a lot of this year is to create this community, and so we want to continue to create it with you. So if you like what you're seeing, subscribe, like the video, stay connected. This is an exciting year, and we're so excited to share it with you guys. And I'm actually overwhelmed right now because I really missed you guys, right? And there's you're all out there, and we see these beautiful comments, and we feel your beautiful energy, and it's just really, really nice to be back and connected with you guys. And we have a lot of exciting things planned for this year, and we're just so thrilled. So we wanted to talk to you guys about this year, right? And the energy of the completion of last year, and how important it is to kind of just, you know, get the context and the container for what it is that's going on. So a lot of energies have been moving, and I've talked to some of you guys, you know, on the phone. I've talked to some of you guys via email or message, and everyone is like, what is going on, right? This deep purging, this deep initiation, all of these different things, right? My little doggy wants to come and hang out with you guys too, as she always does. And so much that's been coming up and going on, but twins, right, and evolved souls, and all of you, right, that are watching this video because you are drawn to our energy, right, have been at the forefront of this. So what does it mean? What do you have to expect? And also just, you made it, right? So although there might still feel like there's some stuff going on and some purging going on and some cleaning out that's going on, it is not going to be the same. Although that doesn't mean there's not going to be challenges. It's not going to be the same as this fire that washed over us last year.
Oh my goodness, yes. I remember right before the new year, there was this moment where I was with myself, and I was being told of this deep purging. Right before I even really started to purge, I was being told that as unconditional love is being laid on this planet, it's like what's going to happen is anything that doesn't align with that is going to start to shift and want to come out and want to come up. And so a lot of you have been getting very angry and resentful, right? It's like, why is this nasty monster coming up? And it's like, well, two things. So it's coming up to be looked at, right? And it's really frustrating, but also too, your liver processes toxins, and as we're shifting this, it's actually going through your human body, right? So it's going through your liver, and your liver's being overtaxed. So we want to calm that liver down. I was like, all right, chill, you need to calm down, right? And so we were going through anger. There was a lot of anxiety. There was a lot of depression. There was difficulty grounding, right? Why would it be so difficult to ground? Because you're feeling everything, right? We have this beautiful human form with all these emotions. It's getting hit. And so we're like, oh, I don't want to feel that. I want to get out of my body. And so not feeling grounded, not really being with it, a lot of running, a lot of wanting to hide from oneself. And the thing is we have to go through it, right? So being asked to purge, and as we're purging, we're making space and moving so that we can be love, right? So that you can enjoy life, right? I remember I went through like really bad purging where afterwards I was like literally like beat up to the point of like, I was like, I just want joy. I just want peace and joy. And it was so amazing because as I was saying that and the days started to go by, I started to shift into peace and joy. Why did that happen? Because I asked for it. Because I was like, there's no other option than to have that. I was like, I cannot have anything less than just that. And I realized that's what this year's about. It's about really taking hold of your 3D form with all this knowing, right? Not trying to get out of the 3D form, but integrating the 5D and the 3D in this form to enjoy and experience everything that you want to experience, and doing it with grace and ease and mercy and all these things that we have access to on a daily basis. And this is coming from someone that has suffered greatly until now, like really suffered. Suffered because I was going through pain and not really knowing how to do it. Just going through pain because I needed to transmute. I'm constantly transmuting for myself and for the collective. Right? So a lot of you are doing that, and I really want to honor that. Yeah. We do not honor that enough. That you are not just doing this on for yourself, but you're facing fire and going through all this stuff. And we just went through this last year that was fire. And this year is not fire, people. It's earth. It's dog. It's the dog. It's the dog year. Earth. What is? And so I'm not an astrologist.
Yep.
I didn't even look up anything but that. And I thought of the earth, and I thought of the dog. And I thought of loyalty to self. Loyalty, they're so loyal. And unconditional love to self and others. Loyalty to self, right? Being that to yourself. Allowing yourself to set boundaries. This is the year of boundaries, right? It's okay to say no. It's okay to take care of yourself. It's okay to put yourself first, right? With that comes, oh, so much love outward, right? When the love goes in, we're loyal to self. It can come out. Let that cup poureth over. It's all about you this year. Really finding yourself in this three. Who are you, right? What do you love? Being that, allowing that to ground. And not, when we ground in that, it sends it out through the grids. It sends it all out, leaving space and leaving room for others to be themselves, right? In every aspect. And it's just, come on. That's what we're all seeking. We're all seeking just to be able to be ourselves, right? So, yeah.
Right. And so, creating these things is creating this energy of love for yourself so that you can really be in that state of love for everyone. So a lot of the energy, Nicole and I talk a lot about twin flames being this energy of unconditional love, right? That's what we're here to do. Right? And so, when you guys are mad at yourselves or your twin or they're behaving badly and you're in all this stuff, why do you think this is happening? In order for us to get to a place of unconditional love, in order for us to help ground unconditional love in the space, for us to walk into this world that we're creating that is unconditional love, right, in Christ consciousness, in order for us to be in that, we need to look at, experience, and feel everything that is conditional. Everything that we have to transmute, everything that we have to experience. So people will say to me, well, it can't be my twin, it can't be this, it can't be that, because I am so frustrated, I am so mad, it is so negative in some ways, there is so much difficulty, they're not showing up. Well, wouldn't those, whatever your particular and individual circumstances are, wouldn't those happen to be those difficult circumstances that really challenge you to understand the concept of unconditionality, right? They are. And so as you're going through this process, it is not just about your relationship. It is not just, right? The union is far bigger than just relationship, but it is not just about this individual relationship that you're thinking about. It is about you finding your self-love, about you finding this unconditional love, about you actually being able to see past that point, right? A lot of you will say, well, they're so awful. Why would I be thinking good about them? Why would I be, right? Because part of your purpose here is to create this energy of unconditional joy and love and compassion and purity in this space. And so we can do it two ways, right? We can go against the grain and we can extend our suffering, or we can actually go into it. We can throw ourselves into that process and we can really look at it. And I bet you, if you take an inventory, right? So I'll give you guys a homework assignment. If you take an inventory of the particular challenges that you've experienced or experiencing with your twin or with family or strong soul connections or people that are in your life that are really triggering you, they are going right to the root of your wounds. They're going right to the root of your individual weak spots. And they are doing that so that they can absolutely invoke this energy of unconditional love out of you, right? And so this year, the energy's moved a lot, right? So we share just from what we receive and we share just a fraction. So understand that this video is a facet, a fraction of this really bigger conversation, okay? So I know some of you have received other information or additional information, right? And there's so much information, like please understand that I have received and Nicole's received that we're not all gonna shove into this video. We're just touching little aspects, right? And so the end of last year, it was so much fire and I felt so much purging and so much detoxing, right? And people were like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I don't know if I'm gonna be okay, right? It was so difficult. The beginning of this year, what I felt a lot is that if you really jumped into that purging last year, right? Some of you are still feeling it.
Yep.
And that's fine, okay? Understand, don't judge it, don't judge yourself, don't judge the process, don't feel that you're behind the 8 ball, you're not. We are always perfectly in the position that we're supposed to be, okay?
Yep.
Some of you feel, okay, I've got through some of it. Well, then let me talk about two different things that I have experienced coming into that. One is now we go through also a different level of initiation. So you guys are gonna go through purging, you're gonna go through initiation. Some of you are also through that phase, right? And the initiations are really breaking down our realities.
Yes.
So what we thought was real. So some of you might be saying like, oh my God, you know, I'm viewing my family different. I'm viewing the world different. I'm viewing my diet different. I'm viewing society different. I'm viewing myself different. What's happening? Like, am I losing it? You're not losing it, right? The first stage of that initiation is the reality that we have been programmed to believe is starting to kind of break down around you. Okay? Again, you're not crazy. Then you start to go into a deeper level of unconditionality. Then that layer will break down, and then you will go into an even truer energy of conditionality. Okay? So these are phases that are going to happen and are happening. Now, there is something interesting that I want to share with you guys about the purging process, the detox process, that I have noticed. So if you've kind of done a ton of work, and I will shamelessly say that I have done a ton of work, and Nicole has done a ton of work, right?
Yeah.
I've noticed, and I got this interesting message that I'm going to share with you guys, we are going to sort of swan dive into really, really deep pits of our crap, of our programming, of our trauma, of our illusion, and we're going to come right back out of it. The thing is that we have to believe that we are back in that reality in order for it to be effective. Okay, what do I mean? And I was just talking with Nicole about this the other day. So the other day, all of a sudden I went deep, deep, as if I was living in that moment into an old wound and trauma. And I was like, wow, I've never experienced it quite like this. As if I was actually living it in that moment. It felt overwhelming, like I couldn't breathe.
Yo.
And I had to believe it, 100%. I had to believe that I was in that experience. I was living it. And I had to believe that that was my reality again. It lasted just a fragment, right? And I'm noticing it's happening at the same time for people. So we're having these booms of intense energy that are happening that are bringing us through the same thing. So if you have any network, any community, right? And we're really excited because this year, right? Early this year, guys, please stay tuned for this. We're gonna have our community open, which is gonna be really important, right? Staying connected to each other and understanding what's happening. Oh shit, everyone went through that Saturday, right? Everyone couldn't sleep for the last 3 days because this is what was happening on the earth. Everyone was, because this is the energy that this is critical. Okay, so it is our honor. We are so excited to have this community that's going to start up soon, and we're going to do energy work with you guys, and we're going to do all sorts of things, right? So, okay. So I swan dive into this energy. I know that other people are going through this also. I noticed everyone messaging me that day. Oh my God, what is happening? One domino disaster after another, one trauma, one trigger, one. Woke up the next morning and we were back in that peace and joy vibration, that love vibration. I was like, and in order for us to take those final steps, those little aspects that are not completed within us, in order for us to stand in this light energy and to create this really euphoric and sort of utopian space of unconditional love, you're gonna dive into those in moments. You're not gonna live in it like you did in the fire year, right? You're not gonna every day be this purging, but you're gonna go through moments where things need to be transmuted and corrected. And if you're doing work for others, right? So if you're a light worker, if you're a healer, if you're any of these things, if you're working with twins, if you're doing work, understanding that you're also intentionally transmuting for others, right? So if other people are really getting blocked around certain issues, you're gonna bring that in and start cleaning it out.
Yes. Yes. And so I'm going to give you a word right now, right? This word I've been rocking out with this word. This is the word that came to me from the beginning of this year, and I'm going to take it with me the whole year, and that is consistency. Do not give up. Consistency. Everyone had their intention set. Right? Everyone was thinking about it. I don't care if you're spiritual or not spiritual, you were setting some kind of intention, what you wanted for this year. What is going to happen next is the universe is going to show you everything that is standing in between you and your intention.
Yes.
It's going to show you it. So don't get disheartened. It doesn't mean that your life's falling apart or these parts of your life are like you're going backwards or you're gonna go backwards. It's just revealing things to you. Bringing it to your consciousness so that you can work through them, so that you can understand them. Because understanding what's happening is it's like half the problem. It's half the healing. Just knowing, being specific, understanding like what's going on. Like, oh my God, that reminds me of like when I was 5, like my father didn't let me, you know, whatever that was, all of a sudden our energy starts to shift as soon as we are able to identify it. And then we're such powerful beings, we can move that and move through it and move out of it. So understand that the first thing's going to happen is you're going to have things be presented that are standing in between you and what it is that you want. And so what I would say to you is be consistent in just setting that intention and holding dear, because here's what happens with the universe and God. They want to give you everything that you ever wanted. The universe wants to give you exactly what your heart wants. It's just the way it is. It's like it's just a principle, a law, right? We have access to that. If you stay consistent, little steps, you will have everything that you desire.
Yes.
Everything that you desire. And maybe the things that you don't get are things that just are not good for you, right? And so right now it's about really taking care of yourself. See, Dove and I work on our union. We work on our connection all the time. This is a year of communication. It's all the C's, right?
Yeah.
Consistency, communication with twins, right? We can't hide anything from each other. So you could be sitting there and you're like, everything's great. And like, you have like 10,000 things going on. She's gonna feel that. She's gonna feel that. So finding ways to communicate, even if you think that it might harm the person, but doing it with love is going to be really, really important this year. Hearing your own voice is really important. Sometimes it's not even for the other person, it's for you to say what you're feeling, right? To have that connection. There's something so beautiful about vulnerability and authenticity and that connection, right? There's sparks. That's intimacy. Even if I tell Dove, like, I don't like you today. Hey, like, you're not being nice. Like, what the? You know what? When I say that, she's like, I didn't even know I was being that way. Half the time, that's what she'll say to me. I didn't even know I was being, I'm really sorry. And then it's done. Imagine if I take that and let it plant a little seed and I start watering it. She said something a little, and she was going through something that had nothing to do with me and watering it some more. Before you know it, we're about to have dinner. And I'm like, and I run out the door and I'm like, we're not having dinner. And then I blow a really amazing dinner because my wife cooks really, really well. That was just a silly example. But seriously, right? We do that all the time. This is a beautiful year. This isn't, it's refinement. It's not like gutting. It's not, last year was like gutting. This is just a year for you to have beautiful things, manifest beautiful things, enjoy yourself and enjoy those around you. Feeling into your power. One more time, feeling into your power. I thought I knew who I was last year. And then I got so broken down, and when I came back out of it and I started to sift through all the crap and I let go of all the shit, like I just brushed it all off and I stood in it, right? Almost like the phoenix just coming out of the, I was like, oh my God, I was like, you are awesome. Like, you are really awesome and beautiful and amazing. And there was peace. Oh, there's peace in that, right? That's yours. It's for you. This year's for you.
I love that. My dog is agreeing too.
She's over here going,
a lot today. She's got a lot to say.
Do you hear like little grumble? It's not Dove and I's stomach, or you know,
Sophia.
Sophia's like, she's feeling it. She's like, hey man, aho.
Right? You know, and I was thinking when Nicole was talking that everything that she was saying goes back even more fully to this energy of self-love. Right? Being able to communicate, letting yourself be valid and important. Being able to be in compassion, be able to release the things that you need, be able to feel your power. And now I want to talk to you guys also, because we started the video with talking about how you're integrating, or not integrating, that's not the right word, you're balancing the two realities of your three-dimensional life, right? And your mind and your fourth dimensional and your energetic reality and the energetic reality that's happening around us.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not going to go too deep into this, but there is so much going on out there, right? And I know a lot of you guys know. So much happening in the energy, to the point where we are hearing incredible sounds in the middle of the night that don't come from anything, and seeing very interesting things that maybe others don't see, and experiencing, and other people are telling us about it. And there is a lot going on in the big picture. So what I want you guys to, or I invite you guys to do, right, is to really start this balance with not sort of rejecting either part of your experience. So you don't need to reject your 3D body. You don't need to reject the fact that you enjoy, eating that mango because it's a sensation that you like to have because you chose to be in a physical incarnation. So sensation is a part of our experience. We chose it, right? At the same time, when we're getting caught in our, oh my God, my twin's a jerk, my family doesn't love me, we're going into our pain body, getting really stuck in our tunnel vision, and we're really forgetting that right now what you guys are doing here, it's not just about what you're seeing. It's about this way bigger picture of creating an energy, of allowing an energy to exist, of creating, I said I wasn't going to talk about creating worlds, right? So I'm not really going to talk about it much, but the world that we are creating with this unconditionality, you're doing that. So I actually want to invite you guys to take a little sticker or your lipstick or a marker and write on your fridge or your bathroom mirror or whatever, big picture. What is that big picture, right? And to remember at least once a day, right? Or you can take your phone and put an alarm on it. And once a day, at least, to come back into that energy of this is not just me. This is not just about my experience that I see right where my feet are. This is a bigger reality. This is bigger than the world we see in front of us. This is transmuting for more people than you will ever meet. This is evolving energies, like the masculine that's been going through a lot, right? The feminine's energy, the world's energy, our belief systems that need to die. And again, as you are having to, or as you are calling in these things that you want, everything, as Nicole was saying, that you don't want, or that is directly opposing what it is that you want to experience, like love and peace and unconditionality, is going to come up. So if, have you ever noticed, right? If you pray for patience, please don't pray for that. Pray for patience, you're going to be stuck at the DMV for 15 hours. Right? Because what the universe does is it teaches us how to do that. And so if you're praying for peace, if you're calling in love, then understand that your process will be to face and come up against everything that is opposed to that energy. Okay? And that you can clear that and you can work with that through consistency, right? And through support and community. So we're always here to support you, right? Or other people, or your own little individual community.
Yeah, and Dove brought up the masculine and feminine. I really just want to say this so that, maybe it'll ease some of your minds and ease your souls, because for both, for the masculine and the feminine, we house both inside of us. But, we've been seeing that the feminine is really has been the lighthouse, has been grounded, right? And the feminine energy is very still. It's the moon, right? It's very emotional, but it's grounded. It's intuition. If you think about the feminine, really able to deal with pain a little bit more than the masculine, just because we have babies and things like that. And so you see this lighthouse that's grounded. And the vision that Dove was getting, and so was I, was this rope being tied around the feminine, and then being tied around the masculine, and the masculine taking a swan dive into hell. Now, what does that mean? The masculine's action, the action and its movement, and its drive, its mission, its purpose, moving. It's the action of it. And so the masculine, if you're going through dark night of the soul right now, if you're frustrated, if you are running from your sacred lover, if you are doing drugs, if you are cheating, if you are doing anything to fill the void that's happening because you're face deep in all the trauma, and as I'm saying that, I got chills up my body. So I just want to clear all that trauma. Right? The masculine's gone to war more so than the woman has. And so it's a lot of pain. There's a lot of trauma to the actual blueprint. And so it's heavy, right? It's transmuting a lot, right? So for the feminine, I just want to say to you, now you know what's going on and that it's okay. Because I know it's hard to be standing really, you feel like you're standing really strong, and then you're not being received. Maybe your twin is running, maybe your sacred lover is running, and you feel alone. And so what happens when that happens is you're going through your own stuff, your self-worth, not feeling loved, feeling neglected, abandoned, forsaken. God's forsaken me. This will always be like this, right? And I know a lot of you have wanted to be like, well, I'm done. I wash my hands, goodbye. And the more you do that, actually, the more you're going to feel your twin. The more you're going to feel that energy. Actually, you make them running back, right? So with all that knowledge, right? Give yourself just a moment and peace and break right now to just honor them. Let's honor the masculine right now for the work that he or she, the masculine, is doing right now, right? Being able to go through the darkness and like Merlin, being able to balance the light and the dark, and going through suffering and pain and all those things, and transmuting and going through massive amounts of pain and anguish and emotion, right? And honoring the feminine for being strong and stoic and grounding all of this information into the grids and holding tight and listening to yourself and intuition and just praying and meditating and crying and allowing yourself to be in that space and holding space and holding space for the masculine to come home, right? Holding space for the masculine to come home. I get really emotional when I say that. Sorry. Because the masculine's gonna come home. And the masculine, after it transmutes and transforms, wants to really hold the feminine up. I will say this every time. I always get the picture of me on my knees, holding Dove up, right? Holding the feminine, allowing her to be free, be her, be creation, be love. And as I'm saying all of this, let's not look at just men and women. This is going on in every soul.
Yes.
This is going on inside of you. So if
Yes.
there's a part of you that's running and you're a woman, listen, this doesn't exempt you, right? This is happening inside of all of us. Maybe in the 3D you're seeing it played out in the way that I'm saying it, like man and woman, or like, you know, like the more masculine in this relationship going through that. But this is all happening inside of each and every one of us. We are androgynous beings. We are not, gender doesn't matter. You're an androgynous being that's housing all of this, that's housing all of this. So we're all going through this. And so understanding that as well connects us more deeply, more understanding, more love, more oneness, because that's what's happening. And so with all of that, I also want to say, hold on to your tribe right now. Whoever's in your life that is very close to you. Like, it's very interesting. We called in, it's interesting. All the people that Dove and I are surrounded with is from the same soul group, right? We come from the same place, right? And so we all have been pulling together to support one another, to do ceremony together, to talk about all the things we're talking to you about, and to have meetings where we're really getting deep down to like what's happening and all of our synchronicities and all of our ideas and building different things and collectively coming together. And that feels good. That feels good. You don't have to do this alone. So don't hide in your home. Like, reach out to one other person at least. And if you don't have anyone near you, call it in. Ask for it. Be like, I just asked for it.
Yeah, and a lot of you, a lot of why we're making our community, and we're having, we're gonna do videos where we're live and we're answering questions. We're gonna do healing work with you guys. We're gonna put out forecasts about what's happening with the energy. You're gonna have each other to ask questions to. You're gonna have a private Facebook group. You're gonna have all these things. Why are we creating that? Because you are our tribe, right? And we wanna make sure that even though maybe we can't see you once a week, in the physical reality, we wanna make sure that we're there with you, right? Virtually, at least there with you, that we're connecting with you, that you're connecting with each other, that we're creating that container. Because so many people I speak to say, I feel alone. And I'm like, but you're not. If every person I speak to says they feel alone, right? I want us to come together and start to create that fabric that's already there. It's an illusion. And when Nicole was talking before about, maybe when your divine partner is running from you, male or female or whatever, when they're pulling away and all these things are coming up for you, don't miss that miracle, right? Don't miss that miracle of there's some work there with you, right? What is hurting? What is scary? What is coming up? And of course, the pain of not having them is going to be there. But what needs to be healed in you? Never forgetting to focus and start the change in us, right? And I wanted to share with you guys something that felt really, really profound. Two things. First of all, as we create, it's all happening here first. As we create, it's all starting. Imagine, like if you close your eyes and you imagine in the center of your heart, in this heart chakra that is now running the show, okay? So we'll talk about that another time. The heart chakra is the central focus of our energy. As this heart chakra, in that is the whole entire universe. And the universe is beyond that and beyond that. And everything starts there in its creation. So everything that's happening here is also creating outside of you all the time. It's projecting, it's creating, it's creating, it's creating. So as you're changing the world, literally the world, as you're changing the fabric of what we understand, it's starting inside of you. So don't miss the opportunity by pointing outside of you all of the time and missing that opportunity to shift it inside of you. Everything starts here.
Yep.
And then Nicole and I were speaking the other day, and there's a difference between knowing here and knowing here. When you say, oh my God, I feel it. So there can be things I have known for years, right? And so this kind of is a little bit based in the Ho'oponopono. And I was introduced to that like 13 years ago, right? And we were talking about people's anger. A lot of anger out there right now, right? It's for another video, but I noticed so much anger, and social media is such a platform for so much anger, just pouring anger out at people who are just can be irrelevant, right?
Yeah.
And then we were talking, we realized, but every time we encounter someone else who has a trigger, an anger, a trauma, a hate, they're reflecting that little piece of us inside that we have absolute control to correct inside of us.
Yes.
To heal more deeply inside of us, to purge more deeply inside of us, to release. And as we do that, we also start to do it for them as well.
Yes.
So instead of creating separation between us and them, just go, what inside of me has that? And there isn't anyone that I have met, okay, so I'm not going to say it doesn't exist, that can really say that they don't have any of that left in them, because we're still having this human experience.
Yes.
Right? And so something out there can make you angry. Okay? Something out there can make you scared. Something out there can make you mean.
Hate.
Something out there can make you hate. So that aspect of them is in us. They are part of us. So just starting to see that and then going, wow, and I also can transmute that. That's an amazing opportunity. And in that, not the crusade to tell them that they're a loser, right? Because we don't like their opinion.
That's our first reaction. It's like, oh,
Sure.
I want to tell you, like.
Right, whatever that initial thing is.
It's okay. That's gonna be there.
That's gonna be
natural.
there, but that's not how we change into this ability, right? And this is totally non-denominational what we do, right? And so I really respect anything that you guys are experiencing out there. But Christ energy is really present on the world, period. In the world, I should say. It's actually on the world, so that's why I said that. It feels like it blankets everything. And in my energy lately. And, what's really interesting about that is that that his energy also housed that. That was a process. Oh my God, really? Really? Like humans are like that? Really? And the anger, like you're gonna tell me it's that way, and that's natural.
Yes.
Being able to go to that, and then the next layer was, wow, but you're me, right? And I love you. And I love you no matter what, right? And so Christ energy went through all the layers,
yes.
Went through all the initiations. And we are in our own right being asked to do that, right? Because we asked to come up against God. We asked to come to love. We asked to feel that, but only when we can become the reflection of what it is that we want to see, can we experience it, right? And so we talked about initiations. Those who are doing it and want to do it, right? We will all do it eventually. It's starting to happen, those initiations. And so just start to watch, observe yourself. Don't judge yourself. Don't judge the process, right? And when I say, for some of you who maybe are not familiar with Christ energy or don't use it a lot, what it is this energy of absolute compassion, right? Absolute compassion above all things, compassion, love above all things. And that's what we exist of, okay? So everything else is the illusion that we created and that we also are detoxing. And so again, it's not a rejection of anything. It's a process. It's a transmutation, right? I know this is a lot of information. It's also just a little bit of information, right? So not only it's just a little bit of the information that we have, because there's only so much that I want to start with, but our being, I have been really distinctly like shown this, that our being is only ever going to take in a tiny, tiny bit of information, because we're in this body and we're having this reality, right? And here there will be a certain amount of limitation. That's why it's so beautiful to be able to listen to other people get messages and then put them together with your message. And so I'll invite you guys, don't go against your intuition. Don't, right? If your heart says, yeah, this resonates, then let that click in to the other things that you know resonate. Let that click in as a part of the puzzle, right? This is a part of the puzzle. This is a tiny speck of the truth, of the process, of the reality, right? If all of a sudden we were showered with everything, we would literally just explode. It would just, our cells, our brains, our energy vibration, our density wouldn't even house it.
No way.
So, listen to your intuition, right? Put the pieces together a little bit. Hopefully this is a piece for you guys. It's the start of a lot of information that we want to share with you guys this year. And the other thing that, you know, I really wanted to share with you as well is, does it feel right? Does it feel true? Does it feel good? Right? You can do things this year based on if it feels true and right, not out of a state of obligation, not out of a state of guilt. These are low vibration illusion energies. They're not truth. And so as you're walking in the state of truth, this energy of truth, being able to really ask myself and go with the initial, right? Does this feel good? Does it feel true to me? And I don't care if it is, you know, an ascended master himself in a body coming to you and saying, this is how it is. If your whole being says that this is not how it is for me in this moment, that's okay. Listening to yourself, learning to reconnect with yourself. Sometimes people will say, right, a lot of our work is to bring people to a reconnection with themselves, because they'll say, I don't know who I am. I can't hear anything. I can't even listen to myself. There's so much blocking. That's okay too. So if you're there, then let your process now be to start to remove the bricks between you and your higher self, to be able to hear, to be able to feel, to be able to trust you and to trust the universe, to trust source, right?
Yeah. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, own the factory. Had it all. Seriously, though. I don't even know. There's nothing else to say after that. Right. It's so true.
So we love you guys so much.
Love you so much.
So please stay connected. Okay, so again, if you're hopping on, if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe, right? Just go down to that little subscribe button. Make sure that you're liking the videos, staying connected. There are a bunch more videos to come. In addition to that, the community, which I'm so excited about. Lots more products and things coming up on the website that are still being worked on, and this year is just going to be super transformative.
Be a rock star self. Be a rock star self.
Yes.
Allow yourself to just like when I say while out, I don't mean like while out. I just mean be. It's very interesting. I just, one more thing is like, there's so many things that I do that I don't even share with you guys. And lately, like even my Snapchat videos, Dove's letting us share them, where I get to just be me and get crazy. And I realize like, you need to see that. I want to see that from you. I want to see like, allow yourself to be. We sometimes get really like, well, I'm a healer, I need to be, and it's like, yeah, okay, you're doing this work, but be you. Like, be okay with that, right? And I just wanted to let you all know that I'm okay with that.
So be joy. Don't take yourself too seriously. It's funny because it is so serious and not at the same time. And so just learning what that balance is, just expressing and try to really show up for yourself and each other with a lot of like love, right? So for those that are trying to share love, like if you see a video or you see a post and you get triggered, like what's going on in here that's like making it so that you're not feeling that, right? Because we're just here to share love with you, our love, our version of what we experience, you know, our truth, the messages that we get to share with you. And so how can we start to really support each other and not see each other as different anymore? And to not see parts of ourselves as wrong or different anymore either, right? And we've often talked about that. You can be, and you are, and you should be so many different versions of your expression. You have your soul's expression in this high vibration energy. And you also have all of these funny characteristics of who you are as a body. And you also have all these funny likes and dislikes. And you all these desires, and all these ways of expressing yourself that are unique to you, that are powerful and important. So we love you guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Love and light.
Have an amazing day.